There's a silence that precedes every storm, a stillness before the earthquake, a profound quiet that settles before the world shifts on its axis. And in the lives of men and women who have truly changed the course of their own destiny, who have not merely existed but truly lived, there is always, always a moment of such silence. A moment when the incessant clamor of the external world, the doubts, the distractions, the demands fades into an inconsequential whisper. It is in this profound inner quiet that the true work begins. It's where the raw, untamed potential of who you are and who you are destined to become first stirs. Look around you. Witness the sea of faces, each one etched with the anxieties of the everyday, the endless pursuit of external validation, the desperate attempt to fit into a mold that was never designed for their unique spirit. They are driven, yes, but often by forces outside themselves, the expectations of others, the elusive promise of fleeting pleasures, the relentless march of a clock they never truly learned to set. They chase shadows, forever seeking something out there that can only ever be found within. They strive to lead, to influence, to inspire, without ever having truly understood the profound truth that leadership, true undeniable leadership, is not a position you occupy, but a state of being you cultivate. It begins not with a roar to the masses, but with a whisper to your own soul. It begins with the unwavering, non-negotiable commitment to lead yourself first. Consider the towering figures of history, not just the names etched in marble, but the quiet revolutionaries, the unsung heroes whose very existence defied the conventional narrative. Did Abraham Lincoln, grappling with the crushing weight of a fractured nation, seek counsel from the fickle winds of public opinion before he decided to preserve the Union? Or did he, in the solitary crucible of his own conviction, forge a will so formidable that it bent the very arc of history to its purpose? He led himself through doubt, through despair, through profound personal tragedy, emerging not unscathed, but undeniably stronger, his inner resolve a beacon in the darkest night. He was not a leader because he held an office. He held an office because he was a leader forged in the fires of self-mastery. And what of Henry Ford, a man who saw not the limitations of the horse-drawn carriage, but the boundless possibilities of the assembly line? Did he wait for the world to believe in his vision before he poured every ounce of his being into its realization? No. He first convinced himself with an unshakable certainty that the impossible was merely the unattempted. He wrestled with skepticism, with financial ruin, with the ingrained resistance to change, not by seeking external validation, but by cultivating an internal conviction so potent that it eventually reshaped an entire industry. He was his own first disciple, his own most demanding critic, and his own most fervent believer. That, my friends, is the bedrock of true leadership. The world today, more than ever, cries out for such leadership. Not the kind that dictates from on high, but the kind that emanates from a deep, unwavering self-possession. The kind that inspires not through charisma alone, but through the undeniable resonance of a life truly lived, a purpose truly embraced, and a mind truly mastered. This journey, the journey of leading yourself, is not a passive contemplation. It is a fierce, relentless engagement with your own inner landscape. It demands a mindset that is not merely positive, but powerfully constructive, a mental forge where thoughts are not just entertained, but deliberately shaped, purified, and weaponized for your greatest good. The mindset is not merely a collection of thoughts. It is the operating system of your existence, the master key to unlocking the vault of your potential. Most people allow their mindset to be programmed by default, by the ceaseless chatter of external forces, the news, the opinions of peers, the subtle anxieties whispered by societal norms. They become unwitting recipients of a script they never chose to write, living out a narrative dictated by fear, scarcity, and limitation. But the truly successful, the true leaders of their own lives, understand that the mind is a garden, and it will either yield nourishing fruit or choking weeds, depending entirely on what you choose to cultivate. Consider the meticulous gardener not leaving a single patch of soil to chance. He prepares the ground, nurtures the seedlings, and relentlessly pulls out anything that would stifle growth. Your mind demands the same unwavering attention. This means consciously, deliberately, and with an almost fanatical zeal, filtering out the mental toxins that poison your potential. It means shutting down the internal critic, the voice of doubt that whispers, "You can't," when your soul screams, "I must." It means actively seeking out knowledge, wisdom, and inspiration that fuels your ambition, rather than allowing your mental space to be overrun by the trivial and the demoralizing. This isn't about mere positive thinking in a saccharine, superficial sense. It's about a constructive mindset, a disciplined rigor in your thought process. It's about challenging every limiting belief that has taken root in your consciousness, scrutinizing it, and if it doesn't serve your highest purpose, ripping it out by its roots. Where did this belief come from? Was it an old fear, a past failure, a dismissive comment from someone else? Dissect it, understand its origins, and then, with the force of an unyielding will, replace it with a new, empowering truth. Think of Thomas Edison, relentlessly pursuing the elusive filament for his light bulb. He didn't see 10 zero failures. He saw 10 zero ways that didn't work, each one bringing him closer to the solution. His mindset was not one of defeat, but of relentless iteration, an unshakable conviction in the eventual triumph. That wasn't optimism. That was intellectual fortitude, a trained mind refusing to surrender to setbacks. He understood that every perceived failure was simply feedback, a data point, guiding him closer to his definitive purpose. This is the hallmark of a mind that leads itself. From mindset, we forge into belief. Belief is not a fleeting hope or a vague wish. It is the absolute, unshakable conviction in the reality of your desire, a deep-seated knowing that permeates every fiber of your being. It's the invisible force that transforms an idea into a tangible outcome, a dream into a destiny. Without belief, even the most brilliant strategies crumble into dust. With it, mountains move. Think of it as the spiritual equivalent of an electrical current. Your desire is the appliance, your actions are the wires, but belief is the power flowing through them, igniting the whole system. When you truly, deeply, unequivocally believe in your capacity to achieve a goal, you activate dormant faculties within yourself. You tap into a reservoir of courage, creativity, and persistence you never knew you possessed. Obstacles that once appeared insurmountable shrink, and pathways previously unseen begin to reveal themselves. Walt Disney, a man who built an empire on imagination, faced bankruptcy, rejection, and ridicule. Yet he never ceased to believe in the magic he sought to create. He saw Disneyland in his mind's eye long before a single shovel broke ground. He believed in the power of storytelling, in the joy of shared experience, in the impossible made real. His belief wasn't born of success. Success was born of his belief. It was the unyielding conviction within him that allowed him to transmute adversity into advantage, to turn every setback into a stepping stone. This is not simply a mental exercise. It is a spiritual truth, a profound alignment of your inner world with the universal forces of creation. This potent force of belief is cultivated through relentless affirmation, through vivid visualization, and through the unwavering certainty of a definite chief aim. This brings us to clarity. Most people drift through life like ships without a rudder, tossed by every passing current, arriving nowhere in particular because they never set a definitive destination. They have vague aspirations. I want to be successful. I want to be happy. I want to be rich. But success, happiness, and wealth are nebulous concepts until they are precisely defined, until they are etched into the blueprint of your conscious mind with uncompromising detail. Clarity is the laser beam that cuts through the fog of confusion and indecision. It is the precise GPS coordinate that allows you to navigate the complex terrain of your life. Without it, your energy is scattered, your efforts diluted, and your potential dissipated across 1,000 uncommitted paths. This is why Napoleon Hill emphasized the definite chief aim, a clear, concise, and compelling statement of what you intend to achieve, the precise amount of money you intend to accumulate, the specific service you intend to render, the exact person you intend to become, and the date by which you intend to achieve it. This isn't merely an exercise in wishful thinking, it's an act of mental programming. When your definite chief aim is crystal clear, your subconscious mind, that powerful inner engine, begins to work tirelessly 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, identifying opportunities, attracting resources, and guiding your actions in alignment with that aim. It filters out distractions, amplifies relevant information, and creates a magnetic pull towards your desired outcome. Consider the meticulous architect designing a skyscraper. Every beam, every floor, every window is drawn with absolute precision before a single brick is laid. There is no ambiguity, no maybe a few more floors here. The clarity of the blueprint dictates the certainty of the construction. Your definite chief aim is that blueprint for your life. It must be so vivid, so tangible that you can see it, feel it, taste it. You must be able to describe it in detail, to articulate it with unwavering conviction, not just to others, but most importantly, to yourself. This level of clarity removes hesitation, ignites courage, and provides an internal compass that always points true north. This crystal clarity naturally gives birth to vision. Vision is not just seeing, it's foreseeing. It's the ability to perceive the future you intend to create, not as a distant possibility, but as an already existing reality in the theater of your mind. It's the blueprint of your definite chief aim brought to life in vivid, multisensory detail. A true vision is so compelling, so electrifying, that it pulls you forward, inspiring you to transcend obstacles and make sacrifices. Think of leaders like Steve Jobs. He didn't just have an idea for a computer. He had a profound vision for how technology could empower individuals, how design could be beautiful, how intuition could guide interaction. He saw the iPhone before anyone else could even conceive of it, not just as a device, but as an extension of the human experience. This vision was not some airy-fairy fantasy. It was a deeply ingrained conviction, a vivid mental construct that he relentlessly worked to manifest into physical reality. His vision was so powerful that it compelled engineers, designers, and marketers to believe in the impossible and bring it to life. Your vision must be equally potent. It must be so clear that it feels almost inevitable, so inspiring that it ignites a fire in your belly, so emotionally resonant that it moves you to action even when fear whispers doubt. It's the inner compass that keeps you oriented when the winds of adversity threaten to blow you off course. Without a compelling vision, you are merely reacting to life. With it, you are actively creating it. This powerful vision, born of clarity and fueled by unwavering belief, then connects directly to your purpose. Purpose is the deeper why behind your vision, the underlying meaning that gives your endeavors profound significance. It's not just about what you want to get, it's about who you want to become and the impact you want to make. A true purpose resonates with your core values, ignites your passions, and gives direction to your actions. Most people chase success, wealth, or recognition as ends in themselves. But true, lasting fulfillment comes not from these external achievements alone, but from aligning your actions with a compelling purpose. When your vision is infused with a higher purpose, your efforts transcend mere work. They become a calling, a mission. This elevates every challenge, every setback into a meaningful step on a grander journey. Consider Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. His vision was a desegregated society, a world where people were judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. But his purpose was far deeper. It was the inherent dignity of every human being, the fundamental right to equality and justice, the moral imperative to dismantle systemic oppression. It was this profound purpose that fueled his eloquence, sustained him through imprisonment, and inspired millions to march, to believe, to fight for a better world. His purpose wasn't about personal gain, it was about universal upliftment. When your purpose is larger than yourself, you tap into an inexhaustible wellspring of energy and resilience. Leading yourself first means consciously identifying and committing to this purpose. It means understanding that your deepest desires are often intertwined with your unique contribution to the world. It's about asking, what problem am I uniquely suited to solve? What gift am I meant to share? What mark do I wish to leave? When your actions are aligned with this higher purpose, Your work becomes imbued with a sense of meaning that transcends mere ambition. Now, with mindset calibrated, belief ignited, clarity forged, vision cast, and purpose identified, we move to the bedrock of all achievement, discipline. This is where aspiration meets application, where dreams transform into deeds. Discipline is not a punishment. It is the ultimate act of self-love, the deliberate choice to forego immediate gratification for the greater good of your long-term goals. It is the consistent, relentless execution of the necessary actions, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. The world is filled with brilliant minds, with inspiring visions, with noble purposes that never come to fruition because they lack the iron will of discipline. Talent is abundant, but sustained effort is rare. Discipline is the bridge between intention and realization. It's the daily commitment to the routines, the habits, the uncomfortable choices that move you incrementally closer to your definite chief aim. It's showing up, doing the work day after day, regardless of mood, external conditions, or momentary resistance. Think of Michael Jordan not just as a basketball phenomenon, but as an icon of discipline. His talent was immense, yes, but it was his almost obsessive commitment to practice, to refining every shot, every move, every strategy that elevated him beyond mere athleticism to legendary status. He famously said, "I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." But those failures weren't random. They were part of a disciplined process of improvement, a relentless pursuit of mastery. He didn't wait for inspiration. He worked until inspiration found him. Discipline means mastering your impulses, silencing the siren call of procrastination, and prioritizing your long-term vision over short-term desires. It's about building habits that serve you, automating actions that lead to progress, and creating a structure that supports your highest aspirations. It's the unwavering commitment to do what is necessary, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, because you understand that every act of self-discipline is an investment in your future self. It's the consistent watering of your mental garden, ensuring that your vision and purpose continue to flourish. And discipline, by its very nature, leads directly to action. This is the vital, irreversible step where all the internal work mindset, belief, clarity, vision, purpose, discipline converges and explodes into tangible output. Ideas are worthless without execution. Dreams remain ethereal until they are anchored by concrete steps. Action is the engine that drives progress, the force that translates thought into reality. Many people become trapped in a cycle of perpetual planning, endless analysis, or passive waiting for the perfect moment. They gather information, they strategize, they visualize, but they never take the plunge. The truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only now. And the most successful individuals throughout history were not those who waited for all the lights to turn green, but those who started driving, creating their own momentum, adjusting their course as they went. Consider the Wright brothers, not as scientists with unlimited resources, but as bicycle mechanics with an audacious dream. They didn't wait for government grants or academic endorsement. They built, they tested, they crashed, they learned, and they built again. Their theories were refined not in lecture halls, but on the sands of Kitty Hawk through the relentless, iterative process of action and feedback. Their genius lay not just in their ideas, but in their courage to translate those ideas into physical experiments, to take flight, literally and metaphorically. Taking action means embracing imperfection, understanding that the first step will rarely be flawless. It means stepping outside your comfort zone, confronting fear and accepting the inevitability of mistakes and setbacks as valuable learning opportunities. It means failing fast, learning quicker, and iterating relentlessly. It means breaking down your grand vision into smaller, manageable steps and then taking the very first one, no matter how small. This is where the rubber meets the road. All the inner cultivation, all the mental preparation finds its ultimate expression in decisive, persistent action. And it's in this constant engagement with the real world, this active pushing against boundaries, that true growth occurs and true leadership of self is demonstrated. You are not just thinking about a leader. You are actively being won, moment by moment, decision by decision. As you consistently take action, driven by clarity and discipline, a profound shift occurs. You begin to attract what you need. This brings us to gratitude. Gratitude is not just a polite emotion, it is a powerful magnetic force, an active principle of attraction that amplifies your efforts and opens pathways to greater abundance. It's the conscious acknowledgement and appreciation for what you have, even as you strive for more. Many people live in a state of perpetual lack, focusing on what they don't have, what they haven't achieved, or what's gone wrong. This scarcity mindset creates a negative vibration, repelling the very things they desire. Gratitude, conversely, shifts your focus to abundance, to the blessings already present, to the opportunities unfolding. This positive frequency aligns you with the universal laws of attraction, drawing more of what you appreciate into your experience. Think of it as tending to your mental garden. When you express genuine gratitude, you are fertilizing the soil, nurturing the seeds of your ambition. It's not about being complacent. It's about being present, appreciative, and open to receiving. When Andrew Carnegie, a titan of industry, mentored Napoleon Hill, he implicitly understood the power of an appreciative mindset. His immense wealth was not just a result of shrewd business dealings, but also from an expansive, generous spirit that recognized and valued the contributions of others. He built immense teams because he cultivated loyalty, and loyalty is often born of appreciation. Practicing gratitude daily, whether through journaling, mindful reflection, or heartfelt expression, recalibrates your perspective. It shifts you from a state of wanting to a state of having, from scarcity to abundance, from fear to faith. It makes you a more attractive force, not just to opportunities and resources, but to people who can support your journey. People are naturally drawn to those who radiate positive energy, who see the good, and who appreciate the efforts of others. This isn't just about feeling good. It's a strategic pillar of self-leadership that unlocks new levels of connection and collaboration. In a rapidly changing world, the ability to lead yourself first demands another critical quality: adaptability. The path to any worthy goal is rarely a straight line. There will be unforeseen detours, unexpected obstacles, and radical shifts in the landscape. Those who cling rigidly to their initial plans, unable or unwilling to adjust, often find themselves stranded, their visions crumbling around them. Adaptability is the intelligent flexibility to pivot, to recalibrate, to innovate in the face of new information or altered circumstances. Think of the great explorers charting unknown territories. They didn't just stick to their initial maps. They observed, they learned, they adjusted their routes, sometimes even changing their ultimate destination based on new discoveries. Their success depended not just on their initial courage, but on their continuous responsiveness to the unpredictable environment. This means cultivating a fluid intelligence, a willingness to learn new skills, to discard old assumptions, and to embrace change as a constant rather than an exception. It means detaching from the method and remaining fiercely committed to the outcome. If one approach fails, you don't despair. You analyze, you learn, and you devise a new approach. If an external force disrupts your plan, you don't surrender. You find a new leverage point, a new strategy. Consider the global challenges we face to the economic shifts, technological disruptions, societal transformations. Those who thrive are not necessarily the strongest or the fastest, but those most capable of adapting, of learning, of evolving. This is a hallmark of truly effective self-leadership. The ability to navigate uncertainty with grace and strategic agility, using every challenge as an opportunity to sharpen your wits and strengthen your resolve. It's about maintaining your definite chief aim, but being infinitely flexible in the means by which you achieve it. And hand in hand with adaptability comes resilience. Life will test you. It will knock you down. It will throw punches you didn't see coming. True leaders are not those who never fall, but those who possess the unwavering capacity to get back up, to absorb the blow, to learn from the pain, and to press forward with renewed determination. Resilience is not merely enduring. It is the active process of growing stronger through adversity. Think of Winston Churchill leading a nation through its darkest hour. He faced relentless bombings, immense pressure, and crushing losses. Yet his voice never faltered, his resolve never broke. He galvanized a nation not just through his words, but through his unyielding spirit, his sheer refusal to surrender. He didn't avoid the storm, he stood in the eye of it and rallied those around him. His resilience was a tangible force, a moral compass that prevented despair from taking root. Cultivating resilience means embracing discomfort, recognizing that growth rarely happens in comfort zones. It means developing an unshakable belief in your capacity to overcome, even when the evidence seems stacked against you. It means learning from setbacks, not dwelling on them. It means having a powerful why that transcends temporary pain, a purpose so strong it pulls you through the deepest valleys. It means developing a thick skin and an indomitable spirit. Every challenge you overcome, every failure you learn from, every moment you choose to stand up after being knocked down builds your resilience. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And a resilient leader, first and foremost, is a resilient human being, one who understands that true strength is not the absence of struggle, but the triumph over it. This continuous process of adapting and building resilience is powered by another indispensable element: learning. The world is in a constant state of flux, and yesterday's answers are often today's limitations. To lead yourself effectively, you must commit to a lifelong journey of continuous learning, of intellectual curiosity, of relentless self-improvement. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. The moment you stop growing, you begin to stagnate. Think of Leonardo da Vinci, a mind so expansive it defied categorization. He was an artist, an inventor, a scientist, a philosopher driven by an insatiable hunger to understand the world around him. He didn't just master one field, he relentlessly explored, experimented, and integrated knowledge from disparate disciplines. His genius was not a fixed trait. It was a consequence of his relentless pursuit of knowledge, his insatiable curiosity. This means moving beyond formal education and embracing self-directed learning. It means reading voraciously, listening actively, observing keenly, and seeking out new experiences. It means being open to feedback, even constructive criticism, as a valuable source of insight. It means dedicating time each day to expanding your mind, whether through books, podcasts, online courses, or engaging in profound conversations with those who challenge your thinking. The competitive edge in today's world belongs not to the smartest, but to the fastest learners. The ability to acquire new knowledge, integrate new information, and apply it effectively is paramount. And a leader who is committed to learning sets an example for those they aspire to influence, creating a culture of growth and intellectual vitality. You cannot lead others to new frontiers if you are unwilling to explore them yourself. Finally, all these elements culminate in the most profound expression of self-leadership, the ability to inspire others. True inspiration doesn't come from motivational speeches or grand pronouncements alone. It comes from the undeniable resonance of a life truly lived, a purpose deeply embraced, and a potential fully realized. When you lead yourself first, when your mindset is strong, your belief unwavering, your clarity absolute, your vision compelling, your purpose profound, your discipline unyielding, your actions decisive, your gratitude genuine, your adaptability keen, your resilience unbreakable, and your commitment to learning relentless, you become a living embodiment of what is possible. You don't have to tell people to follow you. They will want to follow you. They will be drawn to your conviction, to your inner strength, to the palpable energy that emanates from a soul fully aligned with its highest potential. They will see in you the reflection of their own untapped power, the blueprint for their own transformation. You will inspire not by demanding, but by demonstrating, not by speaking, but by being. Think of figures like Nelson Mandela. He didn't just lead a political movement, he embodied a philosophy of forgiveness, reconciliation, and unyielding hope. His decades of imprisonment did not break his spirit. They forged it into an even more powerful instrument of change. When he emerged, he didn't command, he inspired. He inspired an entire nation, and indeed the world, not just with his words, but with the profound integrity of his being, the living testament to his self-mastery, even in the face of unimaginable oppression. Your journey of self-leadership is not a selfish one. It is the most powerful act of service you can undertake, because by mastering yourself, you unlock the capacity to elevate everyone around you. You become a catalyst for change, a beacon of possibility, a living example that greatness is not reserved for a chosen few, but is the inherent birthright of anyone willing to pay the price of self-mastery. The world waits for no one. The opportunities are boundless, the challenge is immense, and the need for true leadership more urgent than ever. But remember this above all: you cannot give what you do not possess. You cannot light a fire in others if your own flame flickers dimly. You cannot lead a charge if you yourself are lost in the wilderness of indecision. The path is clear. The tools are within your grasp. The power resides in your unwavering choice. Choose to cultivate a mind that serves your highest aspirations. Choose to believe beyond doubt. Choose to define your purpose with crystalline clarity. Choose to act with unyielding discipline. Choose to learn, adapt, and rise each time you fall. For when you master yourself, when you lead yourself first, you don't just transform your own life. You set in motion a ripple effect that touches every soul you encounter, every endeavor you pursue, every legacy you build. You become the living testament to Napoleon Hill's timeless truth that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So, step forward. Not into the limelight first, but into the profound quiet of your own being. Forge your will, master your mind, lead yourself, and watch as the world irresistibly begins to follow. The journey begins now. The only question is, are you ready to answer the call within?